akan membahas tentang Find a Mentor and Elevate Your Career bersama Kak Hafiz yang akan dipandu oleh moderator kita yaitu Kak Claudia. Kepada Kak Claudia selaku moderator, waktu dan layar aku persilakan.
Halo, bisa dengar suaraku? Sorry teman-teman, ini kelihatannya aku masih mute ya karena aku harus pakai device lainnya untuk audionya, tapi semoga itu terdengar dengan jelas ya. Thank you Cika perkenalannya. Kita nggak kerasa udah sesi kelima nih hari ini. Semangat banget dari pagi, teman-teman juga semuanya udah buset kayak rame banget, jadi happy banget juga liatnya. Dan sekarang udah sesi kelima dan keenam ini menurut aku juga dua sesi yang sangat penting, cukup menjadi kunci lah pokoknya ini untuk teman-teman mempersiapkan untuk kickstart your career sesuai dengan tema dari acara KM Summit ini. Sekali lagi thank you untuk semuanya yang udah hadir sampai sore-sore hari ini dan semoga masih semangat terus sampai ke akhir sesi di hari ini. Oke, dan tanpa berlama-lama, aku akan mulai mengenalkan sesi berikutnya, yaitu sesi yang kelima, Find a Mentor and Elevate Your Career yang akan dibawakan oleh Hafiz Kasma. Nah, hari ini, for your information, teman-teman, KM Tangsel nih go internasional loh, teman-teman. Kalau tadi dari pagi udah absen ada dari seluruh Indonesia, sekarang tuh ternyata kita sampai ke luar negeri teman-teman. Jadi Kak Hafiz ini sekarang base-nya di Singapura dan memang Singaporean juga, warga negara Singapura. Makanya sempat ada note ya bahwa sesi ini akan ada mix nih bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris, tapi hopefully teman-teman tetap bisa menangkap semua dengan baik. Nanti kalau misalnya ada yang nggak ngerti, silakan ditanyakan, dan dalam bahasa Indonesia juga silakan, dan hopefully aku juga bisa men-translate, semoga nggak bingung juga jadinya semua materi tetap tersampaikan dengan baik. So, mungkin sedikit sebelum aku lempar ke Kak Hafiz, a little bit introduction. Jadi, happy banget to have you with us, Kak Hafiz. How are you?
Good. Terima kasih ya, Claudia. Selamat siang semua.
Very happy to have you with us to talk about mentoring session because I know from what I stalk from your social media, you're very passionate in mentoring. Jadi kayak dari masih kuliah nih teman-teman, dari masih di Singapore Management University, Hafiz udah mulai co-founded mentoring circle, terus sekarang juga merupakan director dari peer mentoring yang Mendaki Club, co-founder Mara Mentoring, and also of course co-founder of Kinobi. Tadi juga Kinobi udah sempat terlihat videonya. Merupakan partner dari support dari Kejar Mimpi Tangsel Summit juga kali ini teman-teman, dan Kinobi merupakan Digital Career Accelerator yang memberikan akses untuk anak-anak muda, terutama Gen Z nih yang pada hadir di sini semuanya di Asia, termasuk di Indonesia, Singapura, Filipina, India, Thailand, juga Australia. Jadi, dan memang salah satu fokus service-nya juga di mentoring. Gitu. Jadi pokoknya sesi mentoring hari ini emang udah top dari the master of mentoring gitu. Without further ado, aku akan serahkan langsung ke Kak Hafiz, nanti akan dibantu present oleh tim KM Tangsel juga. And the floor is yours.
Okay, terima kasih ya Kak Claudia. Selamat sore to everyone. Dream Warrior, yeah. All the participants are called. Awesome. Very fantastic. I think that's a good way to keep your mindset for the rest of the session today. And hopefully including my session as well. So maybe permisi ya, boleh minta share screen. Ability to share screen.
Dari Faza yang oke, siap.
Okay. So perkenalkan saya, my name is Hafiz and I'm the head coach and co-founder of Kinobi. Dan hari ini kita bakal belajar bareng ya. So selama the next slide, selama 5 tahun terakhir, saya sudah menjadi pendengar sekaligus advisor untuk ratusan mahasiswa dan early career professionals, both in Indonesia and as well as in Singapore. So and in addition, saya juga sudah melihat ribuan resume saat dulu bekerja di management consulting juga. Kemudian saya membuat mentoring program di Singapore, dan tentunya hingga saat ini as one of Kinobi's head coaches. So most importantly for today, I'm really here to share all that I've learned personally and from others with you today. So next slide. Agenda pertama ya. So it's basically what is mentoring. So just to understand a bit more about kenapa mentoring penting and sourcing for a mentor as well. So these are the two main sections we will go through today. Sebelum kita start officially, I just wanted to ask a question ya. So before we start, sebelum kita mulai, apakah kalian sudah pernah mentoring sebelumnya? Atau apakah kalian sudah pernah punya mentor? So this one I need people to help type in the chat ya. So type 1 if you have not have any mentoring before? Type 2 kalau iya tapi tidak banyak. Dan type 3 if ada berapa banyak mentor?
B.
Oke, jadi tadi ada pakai kode aja nih teman-teman, biar nggak usah capek-capek ngetik. 1 kalau belum pernah. Nah, oke, aku sudah merangkum.
Itu dia. So 1, 1, 1. Wow, okay. Kak Grace is 2. Kak Elsa is 2.
Mostly belum banyak kayaknya.
Aulia is 2.
Not many of the participants.
I see.
In mentoring. So this is very good session for you guys.
Okay. Alright, thank you. Thanks for responding ya. Di Februari ini memang betul ya. Everyone's very enthusiastic. So thank you for responding very quickly. Okay, sip. So understand not a lot of people know what mentoring is. So hopefully this session is really a good starter kit untuk semua yang hadiri di sini today. So next slide. So the first section is really okay. What is mentoring? Mentoring itu apa sih? And then why do you need one? Buat apa? So next slide. And the next one. The next one. So the next slide. So the next slide. So mentoring is basically ya simpelnya hubungan antara kamu dengan seorang figur yang lebih berpengalaman dan punya positive vibes. Ya dibangunkan dari trust and respect, di mana dia support and encourage kamu atau bahkan give you advice untuk perkembangan diri dan karakter kamu. So it's essentially you and a positive figure. Tapi untuk who can be a mentor, it actually can be quite a lot of people. So next slide. Mentor itu bisa dalam berbagai bentuk ya. So there are mentors that will give career advice, and then there are mentors that will give life advice. There are mentors yang bisa jadi senior kamu in school or at work. There's mentors yang bisa jadi teman atau peer kamu juga. Meaning it could be your age or even someone younger than you. Dan thirdly bisa ada mentor juga, jadi juga yang your listening ear, tempat kamu curhat dan jadi advisor kamu yang memberikan advice juga. So mentors can really take on many shapes and sizes, and really what's important is that it is a positive figure in your life that helps basically build on your character. And the next part I want to say is basically why do we need a mentor? So to really, kalau kita tahu kenapa kita perlu mentor, it would eventually help buat tahu peran seorang mentor. So coba lihat diagram ini. So essentially a mentor plays 4 roles: coach, challenger, connector, and cheerleader. So I'll explain one by one what these means. So coach ya, which is the next slide. So first, pertama sekali as a coach, mentor akan bantu kamu untuk identify problem dan tentunya find the solution juga. And mentor akan memberikan kamu expert advice, nasihat yang benar-benar based off their experience. Nah, di sini the role of a mentor, best use case-nya mentor ini untuk interview prep atau career road mapping dan career planning kamu. So this is especially when it comes, this is I think the definition atau kebetulan yang mostly commonly known by many participants. But actually, the mentor also plays other roles as well. So the next one is the challenger role. So yang kedua sekali, the challenger role is also very interesting. Challenger itu apa ya? So challenger, mentor itu berperan untuk membuat kamu bertanggung jawab atas goals yang kamu achieve. Dan sebagai challenger, mereka tidak akan takut untuk memberikan kamu kritik. So the best use case here is essentially for someone who you can call for 5 to 10 minutes untuk bertanyakan, let's say, for example, saya ada interview di Gojek ya, tomorrow. This is what I've already prepared for. Then what this challenger can do is essentially test you on 1 or 2 key questions that that Gojek might give, and then give you criticism over those key questions. So I think this is what a challenger does. For mentor yang challenger, karakteristiknya adalah they actually don't have time, but they are very, very sharp and very, very productive in terms of giving you advice. So this is also another role that a mentor can play. The third role is cheerleader. Yeah. So Sebagai cheerleader, mentor menjadi pendengar dan tempat curhat kamu yang sekaligus membuatmu optimis. So this is more of mentor as a friend. Selalu support kamu on your important days, mungkin saat perlombaan atau case competition ataupun saat kamu going into a job selection process ataupun on your first day of work. So the best use case of this is essentially saat kamu perlu someone to listen and to support you, and as simple as a good luck phrase ataupun ucapan semangat, atau just as someone who you basically come to if you are feeling down or disappointed in something. So cheerleader also is a very key part of being a mentor, and key also what it means is key benefit of having a mentor as well. Lastly, the mentor also main peranan connector. So mentor menjadi orang yang membantu kamu identify gaps, and they connect you to relevant people as well. So mereka yang menjadi source of network kamu, menjadi friend maker untuk memperluas connection kamu. So best use case here is when you need an important connection, saat kamu perlu koneksi penting dengan orang atau mungkin perusahaan tertentu. So for example, let's say if you are someone who is interviewing tomorrow for Tokopedia, yeah, and you need someone to refer you and you don't know anyone from Tokopedia, this is where your mentor becomes helpful. You ask your mentor, hey, I'm interviewing for Tokopedia, bisa boleh berkoneksi saya ke someone in Tokopedia for me to ask questions in advance. So these are the 4 peranan ya yang mentor can take on. And what it means is that these are the 4 reasons why you should also take a mentor, so that you can have a coach, challenger, cheerleader, dan connector. So pertanyaan kepada semua di sini ya, what could be interesting is which one do you think you need in your life right now? So this one boleh bisa type di chat ya. Jadi yang mana yang kalian paling butuhkan saat ini in your student journey today? Yang mana yang paling cocok dengan kebutuhan hidup kamu? You can type 1, 2, 3, 4 in the chat. Bisa, you can type more than one number as well. So Kak Mel is correct. You can sometimes have 2 and 4. Sometimes you need all 3, all 4. So it's also okay to want to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, kebanyakan 1 ya. And the next most common is 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sip. Okay. All right. Terima kasih ya for responding. So this is very important ya, because even before sebelum even going out to get a mentoring connection, please understand what kind of support you actually need as a person and what is most useful to you. Kadang-kadang not all, and I think let's go to the next slide. Mentor tidak harus bisa memainkan semua all the roles, right? Dan kamu sebagai mentee juga, you may not need your mentor to play all the roles. Kamu gak harus bisa semua hal at once. So the next step is to really find out. The next slide. So sangat penting for you to know that sebagai mentor, for those that are mentors here today, sebagai mentor, role apa yang paling cocok, suitable for you, dan sebagai mentee, peran role mentor seperti apa yang paling useful untuk kamu today, right? So this is a process of self-discovery and self-awareness. Untuk semua partisipan di sini, you need to understand what kind of mentoring relationship works for you, and then you go up and source for your own mentors, which basically means, which basically leads me to my next section, yeah. So the next section is really for sourcing for a mentor. Next slide. So next slide. So sourcing for a mentor, so mencari mentor itu ada prosesnya juga. So the first process then would be self-awareness. So mulai dari self-awareness, di mana kamu realize that you need a mentor and what kind of mentor you need. Yang kedua sekali is prospecting. Prospectingnya ialah proses untuk mulai mencari kira-kira mentor mana yang sesuai sama kamu. And third is reaching out. So actually going out and approaching mentors. And last but not least, build connection with your mentor membangun relationship dengan mentor kamu. So I'll go through also for those of you here, kebanyakan yang number one earlier in this discussion today. So this is a very good step-by-step journey on how to actually build a mentoring relationship. So I'll start with self-awareness. Next slide. So the first step, kamu perlu mengerti why do you need a mentor today, dan mentor seperti apa yang paling cocok sama kamu. So why do you need a mentor? Untuk bantu kamu menjawab, take a look here, ada beberapa alasan kamu perlu mentor. So one is career advice, which I think most of you here are for. But mentor need not only just be career advice. Ya, alasan-alasan, there's other reasons as well. It could also be life advice. It could also be self-development atau pengembangan diri, atau a combination of all the above. The second question, question yang kedua sekali, what mentor suits you best? So as I mentioned earlier, a lot of you have already gone through this exercise. Do you need a coach, challenger, cheerleader, or connector? So this is an important first step. So for example, let's assume, next slide. Let's assume kamu perlu career advice then. Then we also need to dig deeper. Let's say coba pahami lebih dalam, lebih deep. So what kind of career advice you need, right? So and it depends on career advice seperti apa yang kamu sebenarnya perlukan. So misalnya kamu nggak tahu harus mulai dari mana untuk career path kamu. So some of you may be in this stage, or kamu need help untuk interview kepada bidang selected industry. So for example, need help with FMCG interview. Ataupun you could also be kamu udah punya job dan mau find out gimana si biar untuk sukses. So some of you here could already be in an internship or your first job, but your mentor needs is really to find success in the job itself. So really take this time to understand which one of your options are you at right now. And this is very important, because if you are not self-aware of what kind of mentor you need, then the mentor search process is lebih susah . So next slide. So once you find out what your self-awareness of your mentoring needs, the next step is prospecting. So okay, sebelumnya please note that semua mentor itu harus professional. Okay, balik lagi, it depends on your needs and it depends sama kebutuhan kamu. So coba lihat tabelnya, ada needs dan juga minimum ideal mentor, atau in other words, mentor kalian at least harus yang gimana sih. So kalau kamu ragu sama career path yang kamu pilih, then you can choose a mentor yang mungkin peer kamu atau senior kamu yang sudah punya at least one internship experience. Right? So your mentor also doesn't have to be someone who is a lot older than you. Right? If you are at the stage where you need basically kamu ragu sama career path, maybe first year, second year student, then all you need is just a senior student with one internship experience or more. Another option would be kalau kamu bingung mau pilih dua career path, misal FMCG dan consulting, then you can choose a peer or senior with 2 internship experience di industry itu. Right? So it doesn't have to be a professional that's already working. Third choice is kalau kamu lagi applying mini jobs dari satu industri yang sama tapi di beberapa company, then maybe your mentor bisa dari fresh graduate yang sekarang di industri yang kamu mau. So only in this case that your mentor actually needs to be in that specific industry. Last but not least, kalau kamu udah ada job and you know we want to know gimana caranya biar succeed in 1 or 2 years ahead, then kamu perlu mentor yang professional dengan at least 4 to 5 years of experience. So actually only at this stage, if your needs is this advanced, then you actually need a mentor yang a lot more professional. But if you're really at the beginning stage, and you're not sure what career path to choose, then you don't need such a senior mentor. So hopefully this helps in terms of setting the stage untuk prospecting for your mentors going forward. Then the next slide. So next is to reach out So setelah kamu paham mentor yang kamu perlukan, it's time buat kamu cari dan reach out ke mentornya. So ada beberapa sumber dan cara untuk reach out ke mentor kamu. Every sources have different ways of reaching out Source-nya bisa dari number 1, your friends. Right? In this case, kamu tinggal minta tolong aja ke teman kamu. And a lot of people actually don't use this, right? They don't think that as their mentors, as friends. But that's because they didn't do the initial step untuk prospecting dan self-awareness. But if you do it correctly, you can suddenly see that a lot of your friends can be mentors as well. Yang kedua sekali, friends of friends, temannya teman kamu, dan kamu bisa minta tolong kenalin dari teman kamu. So very simple. You can take a look at LinkedIn and see mutual connection. And if you find someone interesting and there's a mutual connection, then ya, kamu bisa minta tolong kenalin dari teman-teman kamu. The third option is networking events. Ya. So adakah yang event yang sesuai? Nah, in this case, kamu bisa reach out langsung ke speaker atau mungkin peserta dari eventnya sendiri. So when you go for networking events, such as this one, you can either send a LinkedIn to me or LinkedIn to Kak Claudia atau Kak Ada. If you are interested in what they do, right? So because this is a space where a lot of people here are very like-minded, yeah. So they are very interested in knowing each other and improving their careers. It's very important for you to make use of this opportunity, not just to listen to me, but also to make friends with the other participants as well. The next one is mentoring programs. So in mentoring program, kamu perlu sign up atau submit application untuk programnya itself. So this is very simple, ya. Just look at Instagram, follow all the Instagram accounts, and make sure that you keep note of all the mentoring programs upcoming. There are a couple of there, such as internet that are available for applications. Dan last option, cold networking, ya. Ini biasa kamu lihat dari profile LinkedIn-nya. Nah, kalau gini kamu perlu send message ke mereka dan kamu bisa bilang kalau kamu interested to know more tentang about them and what they do. But what's important to note, right, in mentoring, which is next slide. Nah, tapi untuk source dari friends atau friends of friends biasanya lebih preferred, ya. Karena kamu cenderung sudah kenal dengan orang ini dan atau teman kamu sudah kenal dengan dia, so it's more reliable juga and not a complete stranger and lower barrier to entry. So the trust is already built, and if you really do the work and really do research on your friends atau temannya teman, you realize that actually the world opens up quite a lot, and there's a lot of people out there who can teach you. So next. Okay, last. So setelah kamu reach out to them, kamu bisa have a first call to build a relationship and get to know your mentor, ya. And at this stage, you don't call them a mentor. It's just a first call. So now here in this table, ada formula yang kamu bisa ikuti untuk first call sama the connection that you have, right? The first 5 minit pertama will be your introduction, ya. So introduce yourself, dan tujuan kamu is like why you reach out to them, and also to introduce yourself. The next 10 minutes, smart questions. Nah, di sini kamu bisa mulai tanya questions yang jadi concern kamu dan turn your questions into conversations. Biar lebih enak juga. So, this is where you try to impress the other person by asking smart questions. Nah, the next 10 minutes is feedback. Di sini kamu bisa minta feedback dari perspektif mentor kamu. So, what would you do if you were me? Apa yang kamu lakukan kalau jadi aku? This is to make them feel empathy for you and understand that you are having these issues and that they can be useful contributor to your career journey. Then the last 5 minutes, say thank you, and if needed juga bisa minta propose the next meetup. Right, so propose the next meetup and propose some agenda for the next meetup. So for example, I have already set aside 30 minutes to speak to this person. The person give 1, 2, 3 advice, and these advice are actionable. I can say that, okay, maybe bulan depan, I'm gonna meet you again and follow you and update you on the 3 things that you asked me to do, for example. Then last but not least, to follow up, so drop thank you note and tell them your decision. Mereka juga pasti happy to know as well. So yeah, I think these are basically the first steps to build a first chat formula. So yay, congratulations. You have completed your first connection after these 4 steps. Nah, sekarang whatever happens, ini terserah kamu dan mentor kamu. And there are 3 options. Number 1, build official mentoring relationship. So kamu bisa set up call untuk set goals bareng. Bisa juga jadwalin untuk meet up like maybe once every 2 months or once a month. So this is especially if you have a good chemistry together, right? There needs to be good chemistry for you to set up any sort of mentoring relationship. Nomor dua, it could also be that you make friend aja, not officially your mentor. And in this way, you have an option to also treat your mentor in a way lebih kayak teman ya. Gak perlu set frekuensi atau jadwal mentoring rutin, tapi nantinya you will ask this person Q&A juga in the future when you need it. And nomor tiga, do nothing. So that's okay. Gak apa-apa kok. Gak semua connection end up to more than just one call, to be honest. But however, you need to make sure kamu tetap friendly ya, dan jangan lupa say thank you for the call as well. So I'll leave it at that. For most of you here that are at the stage 1 of mentoring, have not had a proper mentor before, I hope this helps you at least meet your first mentor or first 5 mentors even, and hopefully we'll get you started. So untuk recapnya, next slide. Here's what we covered today. So what is mentoring? Why is mentoring important? Mentoring important because mentors bisa bermain 4 peranan: coach, challenger, connector, cheerleader. And last but not least, how do you source for a mentor? 1 is understand self-awareness, 2 prospecting, 3 reaching out, and 4 building connection. And with that, thank you very much. This is just what we have on our Kinobi platform. If you are interested, Kinobi is a career platform that really helps students such as yourself get up to date and get kickstarted with their own careers. So check out our platform. You will not regret it. Otherwise, terima kasih ya. I will hand the time back to Kak Claudia for moderation. Thank you very much. Oh, Claudia, I think you're muted.
Oh my God, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Once again, thank you, Kavis, for the very thorough explanation. And actually, it was quite packed one, karena kita sebenarnya masih punya around 15 minutes actually for the presentation. But then it's good because we could have more time for Q&A session. So untuk teman-teman, kita masih punya spare waktu sekitar 30 menit. Silakan boleh dituliskan langsung kolom chatnya. Or if you would like to raise your hand juga silakan untuk bisa nanti on mic nanya langsung soal materi tadi ke Kak Hafiz. Maybe I think tadi udah di recap juga, udah lengkap banget. I think this is very eye-opening for me as well. I've been taking a lot of notes because karena mungkin people see mentoring as okay, it's mentoring. Maybe you don't need one. We're not yet in that phase of life to find a mentor or anything, or maybe you see that mentor is someone who's like very professional, unreachable, or it's just so hard to find one. Tapi ternyata you mentioned that there's this four types of mentor, and bahkan bisa even our friends, peers, colleagues, itu juga semuanya ternyata bisa jadi mentor tergantung kebutuhan dan di fase mana, dan self awareness itu sendiri kita butuhnya kemana, dan ternyata nggak harus jauh-jauh lah ya intinya. We don't need to reach for senior managers, CEOs, anything. Tapi our closest friends even could be your mentor gitu. So thank you once again for explaining all of this that yang kayaknya jarang nih diketahui oleh banyak orang. For me and for everyone, I hope it's giving you a lot of new perspective for you to find a mentor gitu. And now we can continue to the sesi Q&A. Okay, ada beberapa nih. I think dari Yesi, bagaimana cara mendapat mentor yang tepat? I think tadi Kak Hafiz udah lumayan menjelaskan ya, kayak dari step by step-nya, all the step by steps. Maybe more to, I don't know, like how do you find that it's going to be the right person?
Yeah, I think good question. So terima kasih ya Kak Yesi for asking. Mentor yang tepat actually very difficult to find. Actually, it's a quantity game. You just have to keep trying in search of the perfect mentor. Finding the perfect mentor is like finding a good friend. Finding a good friend is not easy, right? Not everyone you meet will be your good friend, even if you try to be. So it's about really going out there and basically talking to a lot of people, and maybe out of 10 orang yang you talk to, maybe only 2 or 3 actually become mentor yang tepat ya. So it's about trying and trying again and finding the chemistry. Untuk finding out how exactly to do it, untuk menjelaskan, how what is the perfect formula? Perfect formulanya it doesn't exist. But there is a way to increase your chances of finding the perfect mentor, which is doing the process that I mentioned earlier. To firstly be self-aware of what actually you need, like what kind of advice you need. Sebenarnya sebetulnya a lot of common mistake is just, oh, I want to find a mentor. Tapi definisi mentornya tidak tepat ya. So what I would recommend is to define what a mentor is useful for you. Career advice, life advice, self-development, ataupun coach, challenger, connector, cheerleader. Then from there, then you can use that criteria to go out and find the mentors you want. So yeah, it's about trying as much as possible. There will never be a perfect mentor all the time. And then nomor dua is to do self-awareness and prospecting very well and understand what you need before you go out. And this will improve your chances to find mentor yang tepat ya. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that answers. Semoga menjawab ya tadi dari Yesti. Jadi sebenarnya nggak ada like the perfect mentor, nggak ada yang akan tepat banget. It's okay to have several mentors. Bisa nyoba berkali-kali juga dengan ini dan nanti akan ketemu sendirilah sebenarnya right mentor for you siapa, dan tentunya self awareness dulu, benar-benar cari tahu mentor seperti apa nih, terutama tadi udah ada 4 pengkategorian, mana sih yang kayaknya paling tepat, kategori mana yang paling tepat for you right now gitu. And then okay, from Grace Anastasia, excuse me, I have a question. Is it better to have more than one mentor? Because the more mentors you have, of course you would have to maintain each relationship, but then how do you not get overwhelmed if you have a lot of mentors? From Grace.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. It's also a very good question. Yeah, terima kasih, Grace, for the question. So I would also approach this as, mentors are like friends, right? Ada yang good friends that you meet only once a year, or once in 6 months, and then there are good friends you meet once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Padahal gue mau beli bubble.
Sorry. Someone wants to buy boba. Silahkan ya mau beli bubble sambil dengerin ini.
Okay. So I'll just continue. So yeah, so the first step is to find one mentor first, right? So for a lot of participants di sini yang ada di sini still in the stage 1 and you don't have any mentors. So first find the first 1 or 2 mentors, and I think you are able to keep up with the relationship very easily with 1 or 2 mentors. Para Kak Grace, I'm assuming she's a bit more advanced, yeah. And already starting establish, let's assume you're already starting to establish more than 2 or 3 mentors, maybe like 8 or 10. Then, yeah, you need to identify which mentors fit in what bucket. The first step is find which mentors fit in which bucket. Ada mentor yang more useful untuk for coach. Yeah. For coach, some mentors are more useful for challenger, some mentors are more useful for connector, some mentors are more useful for cheerleader. Once you've identified which mentors fit which role, peranan mana yang sesuai untuk that specific mentor, then you can use them according to you can schedule them, right? So for coach, these are the person that you meet on once every 2 months, once every 3 months to update on progress, to catch up, and you will find that these are the people who also like to coach other people. So these are the people you meet frequently. For cheerleader, usually the relationship is very texting, yeah. So it's about, oh, I'm having this interview today, or and say good luck. That type of relationship, you don't have to really catch up, but you just message them on a day-to-day basis. Para challenger and connector, typically they don't really like to interact. So if after a while, once you get a few mentors, challenger really you get on a call with them 10 minutes. It must be productive, highly productive. And it's all about asking the right questions during a short amount of time, and they will give you very good advice. But they don't really like to talk a lot. So what it is, you don't really have to keep the relationship. Yeah, once the relationship is built, you can just approach them on an ad hoc basis. Para connector pun is the same thing. Some of the connectors really, oh, you need this, I will give you this connection. But I'm not gonna. You don't need to maintain the relationship. I mean, not high maintenance, a very low maintenance type of coaches, type of mentors. So yeah, after a while, you realize some mentors fit into certain stereotypes or archetypes, and then you can adjust the relationship accordingly. But not all mentors need to be not all mentoring relationships need to be high maintenance, if that makes sense. And this is how you balance multiple mentors. So thank you, Grace, for the good questions.
Thank you. Sepertinya udah menjawab banget ya, Grace. Jadi emang it's good to build a relationship, tapi sebenarnya nggak perlu seintens itu relationshipnya. Jadi ada berbagai kategori, ada yang mungkin lebih butuh frequent interaction, tapi juga kan misalnya kayak tadi yang your yang teman peers itu kan emang udah akan natural sendiri relationshipnya. Tapi kalau untuk yang connector or challenger itu memang one off juga even it's okay gitu. Tadi juga Hafiz juga udah mention it's okay to not have another follow up call gitu. Maybe one session is enough. Jadi maybe mungkin lebih ke relationship kayak menjalin hubungan berjalannya waktu, misalnya maybe ya kayak birthday you still try to say happy birthday to them, jadi build another connection, tapi nggak harus dulu about mentoring and professional work gitu. Hopefully that answered. Oke, ini mungkin aku ke someone's interested for one-on-one coaching session by Kinobi next Hafiz from Ajang. Is there such a fee to get coach in one-on-one coaching Kinobi?
Okay. So I will first explain what's the difference, coach and mentor. So mentor is, just think of it as like a friend, it's like a long-term relationship. So this one more organic, mentors, you don't usually pay them, you usually just try to build it organically. Friends of friends, networking events, mentoring programs, and try to develop a long-term relationship. Untuk Coach di Kinobi, it's basically how we are useful is basically break in case of emergency. So let's say tomorrow you have an interview and you have no one, you don't know anyone in the company, then you come to Kinobi for those sessions. Di sebagai ini there is a fee, very much like there's a fee for tuition fee as well for academic tuition. So yeah, there is a fee for Kinobi's coaching. But coaching and mentoring must be must understand the difference is a bit different lah. Use case-nya berbeda. So yeah, there's a fee.
Jawab Ajang. Okay, maybe I have a question as well. Ini kayaknya cukup. I think also maybe many people are curious about this atau misalnya menganggap bahwa they think that mentors and managers are the same. Misalnya they are also in their career gitu kan, mereka punya manager and they think okay, my manager is my mentor gitu. I don't need another mentor to help me gitu. So maybe can you explain a little bit, boleh jelaskan sedikit sebenarnya mentor versus manager itu sama atau enggak, and if not bedanya seperti apa? What's the difference?
Okay, very good question. Yeah, so mentors versus managers. Your manager can be your mentor, but your mentor need not be your manager. So a manager is basically one source of where you can get your mentors. So remember the chart earlier where to prospecting, you can find teman atau friends of friends, networking events. Within the teman is basically your colleagues as well. So yeah, manager is just a source of a person who could be your mentor. And to build the relationship for mentoring with your manager, I think that really depends on your manager. It's actually your manager's job to mentor you. I believe that all managers should be mentors, but really depends on the company itself. So yeah, manager is professional relationship only, whereas mentor is very much focused on you and your professional development and how you grow as a person. And independent of the company or independent of the company. So I hope that makes sense. Manager is more professional relationship. Manager can be your mentor and should be your mentor. And if you go for work out there, make sure that your manager is one of your mentors. But at the same time, managers are not your only mentors. You can find mentors outside as well.
So okay. Jadi mungkin summary sedikit, berarti sebenarnya manajer itu udah otomatis bisa jadi mentor gitu ya, tapi itu biasanya based on dari kerjaan aja, your professional life gitu kan, official work gitu, tapi and then you can also find another mentor, bisa menemukan mentor yang bisa, sorry tadi aku nggak banyak translate, jadi ya intinya mentor dan manager itu bisa punya kesamaan, bisa punya perbedaan. Jadi kalau kalian udah bekerja, kalian punya manajer, manajer itu udah pasti seharusnya memang bisa jadi mentor kalian juga gitu, selain jadi your direct user gitu kan, jadi manajer kalian harusnya mereka juga secara nggak langsung bisa ngebimbing kalian menjadi mentor kalian gitu. Tapi kalau mentor itu nggak selalu harus manajer kamu gitu, jadi siapapun bisa jadi mentor. Tadi kan Kak Hafiz sudah bilang dari teman sendiri, nggak harus dari orang yang baru internship aja itu bisa jadi mentor juga gitu, tergantung kebutuhan kalian. Kalau kalian emang baru very early, masih awal banget di karir gitu, teman yang udah satu tingkat di atas saja itu udah bisa jadi mentor gitu. Dan dia tentunya bukan manajer kamu kan gitu. Jadi mentor itu bisa banyak banget, tadi yang udah diceritain ada berbagai jenisnya, dan itu nggak harus manajer kamu. Tapi kalau manajer itu seharusnya udah pasti jadi mentor, cuman memang hubungannya lebih ke di dunia kerja, very profesional gitu, dan mungkin jadinya terbatas, misalnya kamu ada kebutuhan mentoring di bidang lain yang mungkin manajer ini nggak bisa bantu kamu di semua bidang itu. Gitu. Semoga cukup tertangkap sama teman-teman. Oke, ada lagi maybe Zulfikri. Oh, sorry, mentor ini hanya dalam satu jenis doang atau gimana? Kayak misal mentor saya dalam bisnis dan mentor lain dalam keuangan gitu atau gimana? Oke. So, Zulfikri is asking maybe like the best practice is that usually you try to find a mentor that can cater all your needs. You want to start a business, you're worried about your financial, and then you try to have that person who can do both, or it's better to like have one for each section. Gitu.
Ya, terima kasih ya Zulfikri. So sorry, maaf ya in advance, nggak ngomong bahasa what so much, but I'll try my best. Okay, so this is a very good question, Zulfikri. But I think at the end of the day, think of mentor as more of an art than a science. So maknanya ya, it really depends. It really depends on what kind of mentors you end up having. Some mentors can take on multiple roles. Some mentors cannot take on multiple roles. Yeah. So some mentors can. Then there's a question of ability, whether they can or cannot. Second, is a matter of willingness, whether they can or can they do want or do not want. Some mentors, they just want to be specialized. So, but maybe some mentors they just want to focus on mentoring for business, but maybe not so much as self-development ataupun career ataupun keuangan. Then the third is basically the chemistry between the two of you and how you can connect with one another. So there's really no preference, whether you have one mentor for everything or a mentor for each individual bidang that you want to get mentored by. It really depends on the relationship you have with the mentors. But preference is always to have multiple mentors and multiple perspectives. So para Zulfikri, if you want, the best would be, let's say, 3 mentors, 3 mentor yang for business and 3 mentor for keuangan. Then you have multiple perspective, because the problem with having only just one mentor is sometimes the bias comes in, right? So they will tell you one thing and you follow them 100%, but your perspectives is only informed by one person, and it is very dangerous, So the more mentors is always better. But that being said, whether you should, when you start, you should have multiple mentors or one, it really depends. So, maaf ya Kak Claudia, I think you have to translate that.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, thank you. Mungkin aku summarize sedikit tadi, Zulfikri. Jadinya sebenarnya semua tergantung dari mentornya itu sendiri. Ada 2 hal nih batasnya itu can or cannot gitu. Dan yang kedua sebenarnya willingness aja sih, jadi mau atau enggak dari si mentornya ini gitu. Jadi bisa lebih penyesuaian aja, depends, tergantung. Kalau misalnya emang bisa dan mau, ya mungkin oke. Tapi mungkin tadi kekurangannya akan misalnya jadi bias, nggak ada perspektif dari dua orang berbeda gitu kan, karena cuma satu orang ini aja, atau mungkin depth of understanding-nya nggak bisa lebih dalam dari kalau misalnya ada orang yang lebih fokus di masing-masing bidang. Jadi sebenarnya depends sih on can on cannot, atau willingness-nya mereka masing-masing. Gitu. Oke, thank you. Next one. Okay, next one from Hafiz. First of all, let me introduce myself. Oh, sorry, from Hafiz. Sorry, Mr. Hafiz. First of all, my name is Vigo. Sorry. Dari Vigo, so still studying di Jakarta State Polytechnic PNJ. This is my second year at PNJ. I want to ask before it becomes late. Oh, good head start, yeah. My question is, college students, does college students need mentor? Jadi, Vigo is still studying in college, and he's wondering whether is it too early, is it too late for him to start finding a mentor? Gitu.
Okay, sip. So terima kasih ya Kak Alif for asking. Never too late to get a mentor. In fact, I think getting a mentor is a hack. It really gives you that significant advantage, an unfair advantage over your peers. Yeah. Imagine if you have 10 men. I cannot emphasize this more, right? For those of you who are thinking about whether to get a mentor or not, please get a mentor today. Yeah? So start your mentoring journey today. Find a mentor today. Because imagine in a world where, if, let's say, your dream career, is in Google, and you have 10 mentors in Google. And over the next 4 years, these 10 mentors, you build good relationships with them, and they help you build your experience and careers in your 4 years in university or 4 years in college. You will definitely go to Google, right? Like there's no way you do not go to Google if you have the guidance and mentorship from 10 people from Google. So yeah, it's an unfair advantage. If you have it, if you have a mentor, most of people actually today don't have mentors. Maybe 80% of students today don't have mentors, and if you have it, you are the top 20%. Yeah. So yeah, get as soon as possible. Try to start your mentoring journey today.
Thank you Hafiz. So Vigo menjawab ya, nggak ada kata telat, justru mulai secepatnya. Vigo masih tetap udah kerja di mana, langsung aja cari, kepoin tadi, bisa memanfaatkan networknya. Tadi juga ada salah satu cara dari Kak Hafiz, cold networking gitu kan, bisa ngechat siapa aja di LinkedIn dengan benar yang sopan tentunya, dan cari tahu dulu butuhnya apa. Dan tadi kalau misalnya mungkin cara cari tahu terbaik ya langsung dari yang emang udah di situ gitu kan. Jadi kalau misalnya tadi Vigo mau kerja di Google, ya langsung aja tanya sama yang orang lagi kerja di Google, gimana cara masuknya, gimana cara daftarnya, gimana working culture-nya di sana, kira-kira cocok nggak ya Vigo untuk kerja di sana dan sebagainya. Jadi kalau misalnya udah punya tadi nih 10 mentor yang udah kerja di Google, kayaknya sangat kecil lah kemungkinan Vigo nggak bisa akan dari top list gitu nanti untuk apply ke Google, karena Vigo udah tahu sendiri kan banyaknya tips-tips dari tempat itu sendiri gitu. Hope it answers, semoga menjawab ya Vigo. Oke, ada another good question I think from Tara. Apakah mentor bisa berubah seiring berjalannya waktu, misal karena udah nggak relate dalam hubungan mentorship-nya? So is it possible to have like a change of mentors or like cut a mentor? Kasarnya kayak cut a mentor, no longer have this mentor-mentee relationship karena memang no more unrelatable gitu. Dan maybe gimana ya kalau itu terjadi gitu, apakah how to maintain the relationship?
Yeah, possible to change mentor or cut a mentor. It basically is like friends, like sometimes you just do not have any more chemistry or with your friends, and you just part ways. But of course, if you cut the relationship, just make sure that you end it off with a good note, or keep a warm, still keep a warm connection with the person, just in case, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, you may need the connection again. So yes, untuk berubah mentor possible, but and approach it the same way as your old friends. Just keep it warm and keep a healthy relationship. Maybe text them once every year, happy birthday, and that's about it.
sama-sama perhatian dan kalau bisa tetap and then apakah ada
So, I think I am lagi. Sorry. Jadi, where were we? Jadi Rara tadi untuk cutting a mentor itu very possible. Sorry.
Alfie, I think Claudia, you're muted.
hello. Hello.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my
You
god.
muted again.
So sorry. Bad thing about online events. All good. Okay. I think we have 2 more minutes. Masih ada 2 menit teman-teman. Kalau misalnya masih ada yang mau tanya.
Claudia, I think you're still muted. You're still muted.
Halo Kak Claudia, Kakak belum kedengeran Kak?
Guys, oh my god, so sorry. Aku pakai 2 device, tapi kayaknya yang satu not really working.
Okay,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So karena maybe you still have a little bit of time, maybe last question from me. I would like to know. If I'm not mistaken, you founded the mentoring circle on your early days as a university student, right? And for me, I think myself especially, I wasn't aware at all about the mentoring world when I was still studying. So can you tell us about your story and how did you find your passion in this mentoring world, and how did you start on like knowing that mentoring is important? Maybe you have any certain personal stories to tell us, and how has mentoring impacted your career and until you're founding Kinobi until now?
Sure. Terima kasih, Claudia. Got it loud and clear. Yeah, thank you for asking the question. So, kepada semua ada backgroundnya ya. So when I was in undergrad, long time ago, in 2016, I started the mentoring community within Singapore Management University. So di Singapura ya. Saya asalnya di Singapura. Not project Indonesia. No one noticed yet. So we started it because we really felt that everyone, when they enter a new world, in this case from high school to university, I think they always need a buddy and they always need a guide. And we found it very very scary for a lot of students who are going through this transition, they will go through it alone and without any guidance. And that's very dangerous also, yeah, because if you don't have any guidance, you might just follow your friends who don't know anything as well. And that basically will become very unhealthy for anyone transitioning into a new role. So the concept is very simple. Yeah, every time someone enters a university, they must and should always have a mentor to guide them along. Someone a bit more senior, maybe not so senior, 2 to 3 years, to guide them along their journey. The concept is very simple, but actually back in 2016, mentoring is not even common. I think in Indonesia, in Singapore, it wasn't very common, and I think in Indonesia also it wasn't very common. Only recently, right, it's been very common. So we basically even created it because we really felt it was wrong, that there wasn't any mentoring program. So we created the first mentoring program in Singapore Management University, and now there are like 10 or 20. Yeah, and to me, I have my own set of mentors who have helped me along the way as well. And I think I personally have the unfair advantage. You know, I did maybe 5 or 6 internships when I was in undergrad in SMU, and all those because my mentors have helped me along the way. And I look at my other friends, they don't have as much experience because they don't have a mentor. So the unfair advantage is unfair. And I want to make it more fair. So that's why we created the mentoring program, the mentoring circle, or the mentoring program back in Singapore Management University. So yeah, that is my story. So thanks for asking.
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. Maybe teman-teman, aku recap sedikit. Tadi aku tanya, jadi kan Kak Hafiz sendiri ini udah kayak started komunitas mentoring waktu masih dari kuliah tahun 2016. Dan bagi kita nih kan kayaknya waktu masih kuliah tuh belum kepikiran ya sama mentoring, dan memang baru sekarang ini kan marak. Jadi tadi aku minta Kak Hafiz untuk ceritain sedikit, kira-kira ceritanya gimana sih awalnya bisa akhirnya passionate banget sama mentoring ini gitu. Jadi tadi Kak Hafiz cerita sedikit. Kak Hafiz sendiri aktif waktu masih kuliah, banyak melakukan internship, 5-6 internship gitu ya, magang, dan Kak Hafiz ngerasain gimana dia dapat guidance dari mentor, dan dia juga aware bahwa nggak banyak orang di sekitarnya, peersnya juga punya akses ke mentoring ini gitu. Dan karena Kak Hafiz sudah ngerasain manfaatnya dari mentor tersebut, makanya Kak Hafiz started Kinobi, mentoring circle, dan banyak kegiatan mentorship lainnya gitu, karena untuk mau ngasih tau lah seberapa pentingnya ini sebenarnya untuk career gitu kan, for professional career, dan pengen semakin banyak orang tahu dan bisa punya mentor gitu. Dan tadi Kak Hafiz juga udah sempat mention ternyata masih sekitar 80% orang actually nggak punya mentor gitu ya, dan have a mentor. Makanya teman-teman mungkin dari sesi ini semoga bisa jadi 20%-nya gitu ya, bisa start to find your mentor dari semua tadi yang udah di-recap juga sama Kak Hafiz. I think kita udah quite running out of time. We're at the end of our session. Once again, thank you so much, Hafiz, for joining us today. And thank you so much also everyone. Before you leave the room, maybe we could take photos together first. Just everyone in the room, boleh teman-teman open cam untuk kita foto bareng.
So terima kasih ya Kak Claudia for being a co-pilot. Thank you for summarizing all the time. So really appreciate it. And for everyone here, terima kasih ya for your patience in translation of English to bahasa. But I hope everyone found this useful. Besok masih ada ya agenda for kerja mimpi.
Yep, abis ini masih ada. We're gonna talk about CV after this, and tomorrow a lot of things. We got internship, we got interviews, we got what else? Design as well. So
yeah, nice, inspiring ya.
Semangat everyone. Okay, anyone else mau open cam? Maybe tim media boleh foto ya. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Terima kasih. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Oke, teman-teman, terima kasih. Mungkin cukup ini ya.